I was stuck in a subway, my friends, at one of these ticket machines. I had my credit card, I pushed it in, and I pulled it out quickly. It didn't work. So I pushed it in and pulled it out quickly. It did not work, so what do? I was stuck there. I went to the next ticket machine, tried the same, didn't work. Oh my dear, what do I do? Another situation, we were going on vacation and was one of the state parks, Black Moshannon State Park, and I just going out on a run in the afternoon, and I thought, well, this is too short for me. I continued to run, and I ran, and and then I thought, well, it's getting really late, so it's better time to turn around. But maybe I could take this shortcut. Well, I took a shortcut. I ended in the sticks, in the woods. I was lost. It turned dark, the rain started, I was still lost. And I looked, and Sigurd was waiting for me forever. I was lost. Now, being stuck or getting lost may happen to us literally or figuratively. You can be stuck in a job that is just draining you, sucking you dry, and you feel like lugging whatever is around and you're tired of it. Or you may be stuck in a relationship where you walk only on eggshells, not to rock the boat, and you invest everything in it, you try everything, and you realize at some point, I don't think there is one more thing I can do about this. So stuck and being lost comes in very different shapes and forms. What do you do when you're in a situation like that? Well, one thing that I can do when my head is spinning is just to stop and breathe. So just settle down a little bit and start breathing. There is something about the breathing of coming back to ourselves, to our breath, and coming to ourselves back to the beginning of who we're meant to be. That's why I believe the creation story of God breathing the breath of life into us. And we become a living soul. It's going back to our breath to connect with ourselves, no matter how we feel, no matter where we are. It's just like what they say in the airplane when you travel. First, put on the oxygen mask yourself before you help someone else. So breathing, connecting with yourself is this, put it on first for yourself and see what's happening with that. The second part is to listen. And I love this beautiful story of little Samuel, who is in the temple. Samuel is very new. He's a young fellow. He's serving under Eli, the priest in the temple, and at night, everything is quiet. Everything is very silent. And Samuel hears his name called, Samuel, Samuel. He gets up and he walks to Eli, the priest, and he asks Eli, Eli, priest, you called me. And Eli said, I didn't call you. Go back to sleep. Well, Samuel goes back to his resting place, and again, it's everything very quiet, and he gets this sense, this hunch, Samuel, Samuel, someone is calling him. He gets up again, he goes to the priest, to Eli, and Eli says, I didn't call you. Go back. It happens one more time, and Eli, the third time, he tells him, you know what? This is God calling you. So when you hear that voice again, answer, here I am. Speak to me, O God. So listening deeply being open like Samuel. And sometimes we don't get it the first time or the second time or the third time. Sometimes there are so many distractions. We're so beyond ourselves, so worked up, whatever, we may not get it. But the hunches are coming. Someone is trying to look for us when we feel lost, when we don't get it. And to listen deeply for that with an open heart. That's another part that I get from this passage. And then what is so amazing about Samuel is he has a mentor. He has Eli. He has someone who listens to him, someone who is there to help him discern. Think of a good friend, someone you can trust with your life, someone you can talk with, someone where you know the person would not judge you, would just understand you and would help you listen and discern what it is about. So listening deeply and listening with your heart and with your soul, that is also what Psalm 42 that we have just heard is an invitation for. There is this person lost, and that psalm describes that situation, and he's so lost that he's connecting with his soul, and he feels deeply with his soul. My soul is longing for the living God, just like a deer in the dry desert is panting for fresh water. That's how my soul is longing for the living God. So giving expression to that longing, giving expression to that feeling lost, being stuck. I've been stuck in a situation like that before. I gave it my all. I tried everything. And I consider myself as a pretty strong person, so I worked harder and harder, and it did not work out. I gave it my all. The only thing that made a difference was when I gave up, when I surrendered, when I let go, when I submitted. And my friends, I thought it was the hardest thing in the world to do, to let go, to give up, to surrender. It shouldn't be that hard. I wonder sometimes, what does it take to let go when we're too stuck, when we're too worked up, when we're too much in that situation and tied up and stuck? Well, I tell you what, I was at the ticket machine, still with a credit card. Going to the third one, still didn't work. I was at a loss. Well, a good Samaritan came up. He took my credit card, he stuck it in, and he let it inside. Because it was one of those machines that reads it while it's stuck inside, not while you pull it out. Well, you can imagine how I felt, but thank God for a good Samaritan. I got my ticket and I got on the road. And then when I was lost in the woods after the shortcut, I was still about a mile away from the cabin where we were standing, and it was pouring. By this time, I was soaking wet, and I was exhausted. I was tired. It was about 6 hours after I left for a nice afternoon run. Yeah, that's right, G. And when I came closer to the cabin, there were some people out there looking for me. And I tell you what, it felt good to be found. Felt good to be found. Being stuck or getting lost, it comes in various shapes and forms. The good news is there is a shepherd there looking for us. When we are at a loss, when we feel like throwing our hands up, when we feel like, I don't know what else to do. It's good to know that When I'm lost, I can be found by that amazing grace of God. Amazing grace.